And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. On the court for Orlando, at the 2 and the 3, it's Fournier and Harris. Joel Embiid out there with Andrew Nicholson, and it's Payton in at the 1 spot. Now Iverson following Tobias Harris's three-point attempt. Thompson from long range. Fournier pulls it down. Orlando trailing here. Inside, here's Harris. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist. Harris has got the second quarter going with the first basket of the period for the Magic. To the paint, here's Okafor, and that one is hammered home.
Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
I think he's sensing that this is a critical time in the game, fellas.
Here's Payton. Philadelphia getting their last shot to go. Poked loose. And they're running. Finished off the break. Now it's a 4-point 76ers lead.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this.
Now here is Harris. Coming in off a 12-point game his last outing. The 76ers struggled last year, but it was mostly due to their offensive issues, Greg. At times, they could be okay on defense.
No doubt, Kevin. They've got a good group of rim protectors, and they also knew how to force turnovers, but they have got to improve offensively.
Yeah, you know, Philly would finish right in the middle of the pack in terms of defensive rankings. They knew how to make stops, and they got some good defenders, too, so not surprised they were fairly solid defensively.
2 shots.
And the big thing that stuck out for me for the Sixers, their turnovers forced. I mean, second in the league in steals per game, fourth in the league in block.
Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Orlando. Aaron Gordon comes in for Andrew Nicholson. One problem the Magic faced last season was depth. They really weren't a deep team, and it hurt them along the way.
Yeah, it sure did. I mean, they had the second fewest bench points in the league, and that number was really low because they didn't use the bench that often. Starters did a lot of the heavy lifting.
And the rejection by Noel. On up the court, and Iverson throws it down.
Boy, he's just dangling from the rim after sending it through there.
You can see which team now has the swagger, Clark, right now.
Yeah, it's with them.
And, guys, that swagger can backfire because you don't want to get your opponent a little too riled up.
Now here's Payton. He has 5. Clock at 6. The feed to Fournier. And Harris wide open. He shoots, sinks the triple. Harris has got 5 points in the quarter.
And for the Magic, they would try and address the bench for this season, both through the draft and free agency.
Timeout call to 76ers.
And, guys, the Magic didn't luck out and jump into the top 3 in the draft. Still ended up with a high pick, and that'll help add another nice piece to their puzzle. They've accumulated a lot of good pieces, but now they need to start making it work.
Now here's Iverson. A 17-point game for him in the win against the Cavaliers in Cleveland. Philadelphia moving the ball around. Shoots from the baseline. Boozer gets the bucket. Boozer's got 5.
What a move. Came out of the spin, stopped and popped. That is impressive.
Harris outside. Top of the key, Fournier. Basket is good. The assist from Harris.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
Now here's Boozer. He's got 5. Kicks to Okafor. On the wing, Thompson. And the shot is long.
Ill-advised shot there, Clark.
Yeah, exactly. That was lower than low percentage.
Philadelphia started to create a little bit of an identity last season after all their transactions, Clark, and shifting around. They settled down and came together.
Yeah, and I tell you, it looks like the identity will be the Sixers being a defensive team going forward. Offense has its fits and starts, but defensively they found some traction.
As you said, the 76ers will be a team built on defense going forward. At least that's what it seems like to me. They have very active hands and can bother a lot of shots. They also force a ton of turnovers as well.
Now here's Iverson. Outside Boozer. Thompson in the corner. There we go. Now in the scoring column with that make. He is 1 for 4. The Magic trail by 5.
And, you know, guys, the Sixers did force a lot of turnovers, but they also gave the ball away the most in the NBA, so kind of negated the turnovers they forced. They can be as defensive as they want, but they've got to get better at taking care of the ball if they're going to improve.
Here's Thompson. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Cleveland. And what's your take, guys, in the hustle stats for the 76ers?
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers and forcing turnovers.
You know, another thing they've done well, guys, this first half is challenge shooters and change shots. A bunch of block shots early.
And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off for them during the run.
Catching up on the changes for Orlando. Vucevic comes in for Dwayne Dedmon, and Smith subbed in for Harris. Now here's Payton. He has 5. The shot's good from Fournier.
You know, I think anytime the shot comes from that range, the offense has done its job and done it well.
Iverson kicks to Boozer. There's the killer two-handed slam.
And very little fight put up by the defense as he made his way to the bucket for the jam.
They did seem to take the cautious approach, Greg, when it came to defending that one. You're right.
And, guys, it's not the time for caution now. I mean, they've got to be aggressive and take some risk to see if they can cut that lead down.
So it's Orlando now after the Sixers pick up 2. Pass to Fournier. 6 on the shot clock. Picked by Vucevic. With some arc. Fournier's shot is off.
Now that's terrific defense at the rim. Got right in his path.
And you know they'll be conscious of him next time they take it inside, too. I mean, that's what really good defenders do. They make you think about their presence.
Now here's Payton. The dish now to Vucevic. Screen by Smith. Now Vucevic. Payton outside. No good from outside. Got the defender off his feet with the pump fake, but couldn't knock it down. Dishes it to Vucevic. Once again off the mark, Orlando.
And the fadeaway was the only option he had on that one. Defender there all over him.
On the wing, Thompson. Back to Iverson. Plenty of space. Orlando grabs the miss. Vucevic has got 4 rebounds now tonight.
His shot's just, it's not there right now. With his team leading, perhaps, you know, let's focus on some other areas of the game.
It's deflected. Now here's Okafor. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Cavaliers in Cleveland.
And he also made an impact on defense, guys. 3 block shots over the course of the game.
Okafor with the steal. It's stolen by Vucevic. Pass to Smith. Back to Vucevic. Here's Fournier. He's covered by Thompson. And Fournier kicks to Vucevic. And here we go. Thompson heading to the hoop. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
It's been a good night for Thompson. He's got 8 points and a steal.
Philadelphia shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight.
Thompson at the line for 2.
And he knocks down the first one. Well, the Magic knew that last season would be one, Greg, for development. A young team like they had needs to grow before they can really compete.
And you touched upon it, Kevin. They really were a young team last season. 3rd youngest team in the league by the end of the year. How about an average age of just over 24 years old?
Cannon from long range. And Oladipo pulls it down.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
They get the rebound. They need this one. Cannon with the rebound. The 76ers leading by 12. The pass to Holmes. Out left to the wing. Stauskas kicks to Cannon. Sinks the three-pointer. Cannon's got 5 points so far.
And you talk about that low age number for the Magic. You mentioned it a moment ago, and they had several rookies last season. That's why they were so young. It was as good a year as any to get their feet wet and see what those young guys could do.
Time call here. The Magic decide to talk it over.
And the Magic, while their youth did grow over the course of the season, they still struggle. And they do need a veteran presence to kind of ensure that they don't start developing that culture of losing in the franchise.
Nerlens Noel checks in for Philadelphia. Here's Nicholson. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Embiid. Pass to Azania. Some nice ball movement by the Magic. Oladipo misses.
You know, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at him.
And it's the 76ers with the ball. Noel dishes to Stauskas. Got a piece of it. Outside Gordon. And the rejection by Noel. Nicholson passes to Gordon. Feeds it to Nicholson for three. Now in the scoring column with that deuce. 1 for 2 this game.
And they may be leaning a little too heavily on the three-pointer when there are better looks to be had inside.
Yeah, and it's one thing when your shots are falling from the perimeter, but when you go cold and things aren't going as well, you've got to get that thing inside. Mix it up a little bit.
And no good. Trying to use the glass.
They've been the better rebounding team by a healthy margin, but it hasn't been enough.
Yeah, you know, they're hustling and giving a good effort, that's for sure, but unfortunately, the execution has been lacking.
And yes, sir, that one drops. There's 42 seconds left in the first half of the game. Here's Cannon, guarded by Oladipo. Noel passes to Holmes. Another shot, and the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. The Magic making a switch here. Harris has checked in. The 76ers have gone 5 of 7 from the free throw line in the game.
And looking at last season's numbers, down below 70% as a team from the line.
And, you know, there was plenty of blame to go around for that. I mean, it wasn't just one or two guys. I mean, for the most part, the entire team struggled.
Oladipo outside. And he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
Tell you what, Kevin, they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
Clark, that deficit will go away quickly if he does.
And how about how he capped that one out, almost like the 1-2 punch.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. 76ers lead by 12. We're going to step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after our halftime.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We're going to break down the first half action for you. For the 76ers, the first quarter was pretty even. The game was always within a fairly narrow margin, with their largest deficit of the period being 6. Things really started to heat up in that second quarter as they put together some nice runs and were able to pull out to a 12-point lead. Let's start with you, Shaq. What'd you think about the 76ers?
They had a focus to working inside, and it's working, Ernie. They've done a great job of recognizing mismatches, a.k.a. barbecue chicken down low, taking advantage. You can't guard that man down there, Ernie. The entry passes have been sharp, and it's led to a lot of points. When you control the paint, you control the game, and they've done that so far.
And over to Kenny. How about what you saw from the Magic?
It looked like they were shooting threes blindfolded. Sometimes you could get cold, but that was atrocious. It was scary. But they also looked scattered out there, and I think that disorganization was the main issue for them missing those shots. They need to establish themselves better into a better rhythm in the second half and avoid relying so heavily on the three-point shot.
And that's